Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on Insect Tribal. Insect Tribal is an aggressive deck that cares about insects, but not entirely in the way that you might think when you would compare this to say like an elves or like a merfolk or even like a goblins. Really what made me want to make this list, and I've been sitting on the idea of this list for a while, was Phyresis Roach, which came out in one of the alchemy sets. I don't remember which one. Which is just a 1-mana 1/1 toxic 1 insect. But the thing that we care about, for the sake of this admittedly meme deck, is the whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, insects you control, and insect cards in your graveyard, hand, and library perpetually gain toxic 1. This, of course, does stack. So say if you get in with the Phyresis Roach twice, it'll give every insect you can own, basically, in a game, toxic 1 twice, if that makes any sense. And I knew that there was, if not a fantastic top-tier list in this, I knew there would be a fun little meme deck, if nothing else. So, every other bit of the deck, for the most part, is pretty self-explanatory of trying to find the best insects possible, which is kind of an ask. Like Haywire Might, Changeling Outcast, honorable mention to Changelings here, because they also count as insects and therefore really help the list. And even Billowas Skulldiver, which is an insect that also has Toxic, kind of doubles up on what the deck wants to do. Same thing, Nectar Pot, an insect with some upside. Blight Beetle, I maintain, and is actually better than you would think, just because of the loads of green-based devotion lists that are floating around the format. This is actually not an insignificant thing. Another alchemy card that kind of meets the requirements is the Skullpiercer Gnat. Basically a 2-mana 1/1 flyer with Toxic that whenever it hits your opponent, each non-land basically gives them a poison counter when they cast the spell. So yeah, all we're trying to do is just get loads of insects down. Honorable mention to Realm Walker, one of the changelings that has a lot of upsides because it's a changeling, it's an insect. And Blex Vesting Pest is not a snake, or not an insect itself, but cares about insects. And can also be some card draw. And that is and also Collected Company. This is another one of those lists where Collected Company does a good job of adding some strength to a deck that, if you didn't have access to Collected Company, would be entirely a meme and wouldn't really work. Collected Company just helps give some oomph to a deck when it's in the meme stage like this. Land base, self-explanatory. Lands that enter the battlefield untap on turn 1 and 2 because we're an aggressive deck and we want to do that. The two that might seem a little weird are Cavern of Souls and Mana Confluence. 1, just because we like the mana fixing, but 2, really 7 sources is enough to cast the 1 blue spell in our deck, and even then we're not always going to need the Gnat. The Gnat is more so here for the bit. It's like it's an okay card, but the whole meme of the deck is insects, and this is an insect that also has Toxic and kind of just meshes well with what the deck wants to do. Sideboard, self-explanatory. Scavenging Ooze for graveyards. Assassin's Trophy as a catch-all removal. Noxious Grasp is a really, really useful black removal spell to have in the format. Again, loads of green-based devotion decks, as well as white-based life gain decks are always really, really common in the format, and Noxious Grasp is just a almost required deck for those matchups. Tainted Remedy against opposing life gain decks. If your opponent is going to be running a lot more interaction or more controlling, kind of, where really the bit that you're trying to do with his deck is already on shaky ground. If your opponent runs a whole lot of removal, having a card like Grist helps to give you a little bit more of a game against decks that are trying to go long. Of course, Grist is nice just because it's a Planeswalker, you can get general value, but the fact that it is also both creates insects and is considered an insect sort of fits with the whole theme of the deck. Again, on top of whatever utility Grist can bring us normally. Crippling Fear for a one-sided board wipe because no one's running insects. I'll tell you that for free now. And a single Fade from History because there are a good amount of artifact-heavy decks, the occasional even enchantment prison deck floating around, and a single Fade from History is a good way to hedge your bets against that. And that is the basics of the list. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions like, I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Really quick before we go on to game number 1, I've mentioned this in the deck tech before this point, but yes, this deck is a meme deck, and I'm okay with that. It's not functional, but no, it is not gonna climb. It is not that good. I just really like, you know, a fun list every once in a while. I especially like fun list in general, but this is like purely a fun list that is a nice little tool for self-expression because, and I cannot emphasize this enough, I have not seen another human soul running Phyresis Roach and Insect Tribal. So it's nice to like kind of make something unique every once in a while. And now, with all of that out of the way, we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little Insect Tribal list. And while we wait for our opponent to make their choices, you will notice that my rank is gold rank. This is not a reflection of the list. I am recording this as of the 1st of October, and the ladder just reset. I maintain even a below average deck in the hands of an average or above average pilot will end up in platinum. This deck maintained in platinum and did fine there, so don't let the rank necessarily dissuade you. Although, if you're getting all try-hardy about Insect Tribal, we'll go ahead and keep this. If you're getting try-hardy about a list like this, you're kind of missing the point. And this is a beautiful keep. 4 lands, 3 spells, Phyresis Roach in our... Pardon? I was gonna say the Roach in our opening hand, but they're running Dread Fugue. Okay, that's a new one. I've literally never seen this card, so okay, that's fine. I was gonna say we had, you know, the Nuts opener on turn 1. I mean, okay. Naming Insect, of course. It sucks to have our hand getting chipped away at, but like they also aren't doing anything. Like, yeah, you are forcing me to discard, and you're gonna make me.
Something suspicious.
Okay, I was talking mad shit.
I'm not finished with you yet.
Okay, this isn't helping when we're flooding. What does this one do? I'll laugh my ass off if it's Liliana Tribal.
With the mysteries.
-2, -1, mill 2 cards, return creature card, emblem, end step, make zombies, where zombies is number. Cool. Get rid of Atlanta War Waste. That's fine, we'll take that. Play the Confluence. We will go ahead and tap, or tap and pass, I should say. Gonna try and keep a hold of this collected company for as long as possible. That's... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, we might be in a bad spot now. Granted, we flooded and our opponent discarded... It is Liliana. Okay, it's like mono black Liliana Tribal, basically. So yeah, the deck was in trouble when we flooded, and they got rid of, like, the thing that makes the deck work. So, you know, what are you gonna do?
I'll stop when I get my answers.
We'll go ahead and, like, play it out, because this is gonna happen. Lex and the Blight Beetle, why not? Guess we'll play the Nectar Pot. This is one of the cons of an absolute meme list like this. There are going to be moments, like now, where you're out of gas. Your opponent, you know, has sufficiently interacted with you. And we're just kind of sitting here spinning our wheels, hoping things happen.
I'm calling the shots here. We all have things we'd rather.
This really is not great. Gotta try and at least keep the Lilianas from activating their ultimates. Or however you want to refer to it. So I guess we can do 2 with that Liliana, 2 with that Liliana. At least no matter what... Sure. No matter what, neither of the Lilianas are going to be able to, like... what's the word? Oh, get the fuck out of here. I forgot. That. Which one does that do? You know what? Honestly, we're wasting our time. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, meme decks aren't going to work out, but that doesn't mean I'm less committed to the meme. Grist is going to come in because we're going to attack our resources a lot. What do we cut here? Skull Piercer is not going to be that useful because they're also discarding a lot of their own stuff. Blight, I don't love this, but we're going to cut a Blight Beetle for maybe like a Assassin's Trophy and maybe... No, that's fine. Don't want to delude our insect count too much since, you know, after a certain point, if you dilute your insect deck, it's not really an insect deck anymore. Blah, blah. Play first. This is one of those moments where we're on the play, so we're going to be able to at least resolve one of our roaches here. Paying 2, playing a roach with any luck. Thank you. I mean, they're a black deck. They could have countless numbers of removal spells, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do. All of their weird discard things. But yeah, get rid of the other roach. That is the correct thing. They're running weird discard stuff, too. Go ahead and play the Skull Dweller. Want to try and get the toxic count going, and just more toxic the better. This deck is trying to get under our opponent. Yeah, it gets rid of the roach. Their deck is all over the place, but okay. In that case, Nectar Pot. Doing that first. We can play a land, get the life gain off of it. Play second, or I guess second roach, but they've seen the third. And this is more what the deck is trying to do. Granted, we could still very, very much be dead. So, like, we'll cross that when we get to it, kind of things. Nectar Pot for some land. I am going to immediately crack this and draw. Would love... Huh. Creatures your opponent control. Target spells. Okay, we don't care about that. One of the reasons why we kept the Haywire Might is simply because with all of the discard spells they have, I would not be surprised if they have like a Waste Knot. Pardon the dog losing his mind. At this stage, we don't even super care about the Roach. We've already gotten Roach activations. Just trying to go fast and do the thing. And honestly, we're kind of getting there. Sacrifice, probably a Haywire. Sneeze. Ooh, maybe. I think we're okay. Honestly, I'm going to keep ignoring it. Just go face. This is a deck you cannot afford to, like... If you are... Unless it can be avoided, you should really just try and go face, especially once you've already got the ball rolling. Perfect. Beautiful. We take those. Do my thoughts on sideboarding change? Honestly, no. I like where we are. An argument that we could probably bring in the other Assassin's Trophy. We are going to be on the draw, which is going to stink. It'll give our opponent basically just an out to start like chipping away at our hand with discard spells again. Wiggles. You know you could come hang out with me. You don't gotta hang out on the kitchen floor. I'll pet you in here. This is good. We have 2 roaches. So one's gonna resolve no matter what happens. Yeah, I don't think there's any 1-mana discard spell that would get rid of both of my roaches. The only black spell on turn 2 that I can think of, Peat landed a roach. I think it's like Legion's End could get rid of like multiple of my roaches. Yeah, okay. We're in a bad spot. Not gonna lie, our opponent has successfully. We don't need to do that. Cavern of Souls, Naming Insect, Blight Beetle. Yeah, our opponent has successfully answered 2 of the 4 roaches. We're gonna be in for a rough time. But again, this deck is a meme. You kind of have to accept that going into it if you want to, you know, play this deck and have a good time. And you can have a good time. Buddy. Yeah, I'm looking right at you. Hi, buddy. Just come hang out with me. Hope we done recording soon. I know. Okay, that really stinks. Is Blex... Okay, so Blex does actually get hit by that. Just gonna try to eke out whatever damage we can. This is... Honestly, discard-heavy matchups are like particularly bad for us. Dog. You're fine. I'm very sorry. Viewer at home, the dog is losing his mind. With any luck, this game's going to be over soon, so it'll be fine, buddy. Playing the Outcast. Blight Beetle going on Liliana. Skull going face. Dog. 2 seconds.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. Off you go.
Well, I'll try to get the dog to come in here. Honestly, Outcast. Our plan remains largely the same. Blight Beetle here. Dweller here.
That's my cue to leave.
Nah. I'll save the Castle Locked Away activation for end of turn. Pardon? Target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control. They control all... Okay. It's very odd. I mean, that'll do it, though. Okay, it does not help when we're bricking like this. If we draw another... Well, no, we're still in this game. Oh, my God. Okay. This is not going great. If we're being entirely honest. Which Liliana is this?
Ruining your day is
That's actually, you know what? Take the shock land.
We're doing
I mean, that's a card. I am gonna crack the Peat land off the bat. I know, buddy. Dog. Okay. There's no pulling back from this. And it's one of those... Dog. I'm so sorry about the dog. Again, I've said this before in other videos. Free time to record is very rare, and even when you think it's free, you have a little tiny wiggly dog who wants to be a big butt. But yeah, this is what's going to happen with a meme deck. You can still have fun. You can still have fun. Oh, okay, so you're talking when I talk. Anywho, you can have fun, but you're going to be in for a rough time. On to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little insect tribal list. And as always, we go first because we have a brain. I'm going to throw this back because we really need a roach in our opening hand. I'll even go to 5. The whole deck is built around... The whole meme of the deck is built around the roach. You really got to look for it. I won't go less than 5 because that's just irresponsible. Honestly. Like, we'll take that. I will put back the Realm Walker and the Collected Company. Cavern of Souls, Naming Insect, Roach on 1. With any luck, this won't be another black-based discard list, so you'll be able to get some variety in the games in question. Or at least it's black and something. My god, is that... Okay, that's fine. It's... I think I've almost certainly talked about... Pardon? Why? I've almost certainly talked about this before in the past, where I try not to show 2 back-to-back games of the same list. And this is true still, because this is technically at least red and black, and features some discard, which I know isn't, you know, the most tasteful thing. But again, recording time is rare. I gotta take what games I can get. And honestly, this is a pretty good opener, all things considered. We have 2 roaches, a board full of dudes, and there's no sweeper that's realistically going to get played at 2 that's going to mess me up here. Yes, please, make me discard... Pardon? Okay, now I don't know what they're running. I mean... Granted, Thoughtseize is just kind of a generically good card, so maybe my calls were bad. But as you can see, they're at 7 poison counters on turn 2. So, like, the deck can work. We saw actually nothing, so we're just going to run the deck again. What was I going... Ah, yes. This is one of those lists that might actually work better in, like, a best-of-1 thing. Even though I'm not a best-of-1 player, I'll still run Weird List and best-of-3, because I personally like that more when it comes to Magic the Gathering. But I could see that this is actually a deck where if you wanted to run this in best-of-1, you could probably get, like, better results than you would in best-of-3. Though, granted, I don't know what the meta's like. Maybe I'm entirely wrong. Very possible. Again, though, just like last game, looking for a roach in our opening hand. Happy to take that. Don't need both Changeling Outcast. Nope, we didn't get Thoughtseized. We take that. In that case, Land of War Waste, Roach on 1. Does our opponent have an answer this time? Gotta be honest, if they don't, they're gonna be in for a bad time again. But I also don't even know what our opponent's trying to do. Is it just like Boomer Jund? What was the starter town land there for? Okay, that's fine. Sure. Peatland, attack with the roach. They have some sort of priority hold. Abrupt Decay. Is it just Boomer Jund? If it is, that's fine. Play a Blight Beetle. A non-zero amount of their deck is green, so we're going to get, hopefully, a little more mileage out of the pro-green thing. Now, again, I apologize for the dog, but he doesn't want to hang out with me. He just wants to sit at the door and wait for dear dog mom to come home.
No more distractions. must
Ugh. We're in for a bad time again. I mean, we'll run things out, but I don't know if it's gonna totally work. Show me Tarmogoyf, or the what's the red mana? I think it's like Modern Horizons Goyf, like it's like a Kavu mixed with like a Goyf or something. Pyrogoyf, there we go. I knew something like that. I mean, this is like cute and does help like Boomer Jund kind of be a thing. Both of these lists have done a very good job of showing what we talked about in game 1, is that if you are able to use like the black tool set to like really chip away at my resources, then this meme deck goes from meme to actually unplayable. But against like other decks, if we're being honest, you'll have similar struggles with a lot of lists, or against a lot of lists, I should say. But like black heavy lists with loads of discard are especially good at like dealing with what our deck wants to do. Yeah. We're in for a really bad honestly, no, a part of me wants to scoop immediately, but like if we're being honest, it's almost certainly over now. Again, it's a meme deck. It's just part of the game. I can still have fun with this. We are going to save these to block with. Oh, man, it's so unfortunate. Yeah. All of the Goyfs. These all came from commander sets. Is there like... Well, I think there actually is a like actual like Lurgoyf commander. I just can't think of what their name is. Yeah, there's literally nothing we draw that makes us better. Is that any target? Any target. Skull Piercer's not that useful again. They don't really mind dumping their handouts. We're not really going to get the most use out of that. I will bring in 2 trophies now. The Outcast are not going to be like that useful. Go ahead and run it. We're just hoping for another game where we happen to like draw a roach or 2 in our opening hand. If I remember correctly, this should put us on the play in game 3. Which really helps. Granted, if they're playing like a Boomer Jund thing, my money is on I'm going to get Fatal pushed before I can even connect with the roach at all. But damn it, I am nothing else if not committed to this particular meme. Does he get rid of Grist? Does he get rid of the Skull? The Dweller? We shall see. I would say Grist, but that's just me. Really, the Dweller? Okay. In that case, Overgrown Tomb. Got at least one connection with the roach in question. He might just have another discard, and he was just deciding the order. Now, what the hell is this card? And that's the Final Fantasy one. And just tapped, unless it's the first, second, or third turn of the game. Pay to add a colorless, or like a 1 mana confluence, or 1 life mana confluence thing. Cool. Cavern of Souls, naming insects. Gonna hit him with the Grist. We're gonna uptick to try and get hopefully more insects. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And more insects on the field, the more things that the roach can buff. I mean, we would have loved for the Roach to connect, but our opponent is a smart enough player to know that they cannot let that happen in a moment like this. So I can't really blame them if we're being honest. Chris is another one of those. The fact that it is an insect and also makes insects is usually... One, this card has never seen any play in Historic, but is usually not that relevant from what I understand. It's more of just a mill tool. But this is a rare instance where we actually care about the insects themselves. They're not doing anything on their turn. Hang on, how are we doing this? Yeah... Only have one thing in our graveyard. Honestly? I think I am going to sacrifice and get rid of their blocker. I really want the Roach to connect. There's a fair argument to be made that this is like incredibly overkill. They probably just like sack it and it responds like a responsible player. I knew something was going to happen. Oh, well. In that case, a Roach, then we'll do a Blex. This is one of those moments where if I have to, like, play beat down with just the normal, not exciting insects, we take that too. What does this one do? Power is equal to Goyf. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, mill that many cards. If you do... creature card from them in hand. Oh, you can rumble and play a Goyf here. What's the down tick? What are they doing? I mean, it's work. Okay, I guess. No point in down ticking. Our opponent is just gonna block with their spawns. I mean, all right. Yeah, if we just got to play beatdown, I'm threatening lethal, so they especially have to block. Blocks a 3, blocks a 2, down to 4. I mean, we're feeling pretty good. I just thought about the fact of I could have cracked the Peat land, but I don't think there's anything I would have drawn that really would have changed that, what's the word, that calculus, that decision. We might actually, I mean, and to be fair, I was going to say we might actually win with the meme deck. This is a meme deck, but it's not like a totally unfunctioning mess. Like, it's a fine, what I would call like kitchen table level Magic, if you care about that. I just was having fun making a fun list. GG. And for me, that's enough, is more what I was getting at. Just go face. We're actually going to win a game. And this does show that you can win with the silly little meme list. Are you going to climb anything above Platinum, which is mid? Like the middle ranks? No. There's just not enough here. They would have to add so many insects to the format. And you can't even, like... It would be different if this, like, also, like... It only buffs insects, so it's not like it's a Blex where you could say also care about like snakes or spiders with all the new spiders that came out in Omenpaths or whatever. No, it just works on insects, and insects are, especially in Historic anyway, are actually pretty rare. But anywho, that is all for this particular list. Again, is it a meme? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. Is it going to be the next deck at the top of the ladder? No. But for me, I'm okay with that. I mean, I do try to make good decks, but even I can acknowledge that this is like a good fun, but not a good deck, if that makes sense. So if you're looking for a fun one, go ahead and try. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, like, I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.